Hello, again. Right, picture 6. I like this picture. This picture I really love. It's one of the pictures that I can remember the bridge, the canal, and everything. This is just unchanged. This is, apart from a bit on the left. And every time I go on the tram and travel through the Sheffield and I see this, it just gives me goose pimples because it's just perfect. It's just perfect for me, and I hope nothing really ever gets changed or about it, and everything stays there. So I'm going to load it up in a second. Incidentally, I'm going to set up an email address. I'll put it on my description of me on YouTube, and it'll be a separate one. So if anybody wants to, if they've not looked on the Sheffield forum and they want to contact me directly with any memories or any stories or any questions, or just to share pictures or anything, because I'm always looking for pictures of Cliffe, especially Chippingham Street around that area and the houses, and Francis Street, Bodmin, Tidston. Even though I've been on the Sheffield Library, then contact me or just contact me for a chat. I'll try and answer everyone I can. I don't get a lot of time, but I'm going to try and I'll set it up so I can answer them from work. Anyway, picture 6. So this should have loaded up now. Right, this is looking left from our garden. So if it had been stood in the end of the garden wall, I'd have my bedroom window for that matter, and you just glance to the left. This is what you'll be able to see. Obviously, you can see the big nice expanse of canal, the railway bridge, the green railway bridge. I mean, it looks like it's a pretty thin bridge, like you could walk along it really, but it's actually quite wide. I think it had at least 2 tracks going across it, and in the background the steel buildings as well, of the steelworks and that. I think last time I went down, I think some of them have gone now. They've been knocked down or slightly converted, but it is sad, but I guess it's progress. But I love looking at this one. This is just great. Anyway, this is what I wrote. I'll read it as I put it down. Taken looking to the left from our garden, where the wall is, with the graffiti on. As you can see, there's like a bit of a white expanse of wall. This was an entrance to a steelworks. On a daily basis, a forklift of some sort would push scrap metal into the canal, and this piled up around the wall and gave the water its murky colour. That's true, actually. I gather it was, that part of the wall must have been like like of an exit to the steelworks, but there was kind of a gap, and it must have been about every couple of hours a forklift or it was with like a shovel on the end just used to get the scrap and just push it or lift it up and drop it in out of the bucket, but it used to come right to the end of the wall because it was just a bare entrance, and just drop it all in the canal. So I gather that's why it was so dirty and murky around this colour, and it's weird. Then it's said natural, that's what they used to do, but I suppose now it's you'd no way near get away with it. But yeah, that's all you could hear, and I'd just go run and watch it drop in, and it was bizarre thinking about it, but yeah. Anyway, so like I said, that's what gave it the colour. It was next door to this firm where the houses started. The first yard of houses were below ours was occupied. I think it was occupied by Pakistanis, and they're kind of the yard below. And if you went round to where our toilet was, where I've described before, we just as you go round into where the door is, there was the big tree scary tree on the right hand side, and the toilet door on the left. Well, just in front there was like a really low wall, and you could look over the wall down into their yard. And I always remember they all had like their own original colour scheme. Some like painted blue or red window frames and pink doors and stuff like that. Most of it even painted outside the walls, like some of mine have painted it pink outside the whole wall of the house, that is. And I never found out why. I don't know whether it was just a mixture of colours or whether it because it was a nice colour, but they always had their own colour scheme. It's one thing as your kid you always remember because you always think it was really strange, but they were either pink or yellow. It's have to put it as I could never understand. And there was always that nice smell of like spices and that coming over the wall. I always remember that. It was always quite nice because I think curry was something we'd never had as kids. We'd never tried apart from the local Chinese curry place. But yeah, it was always that nice smell coming over. But as kids, as you do, we used to go up to the wall and we used to shout names. Shan't repeat what we used to shout, but we used to shout names over the wall, and then we'd run in and we'd hide just behind the wall or in the toilet door, and we could hear them shouting back and whatnot. And we'd try and sneak a peek over the wall to see if they were still there, and if they were, we'd run back in the toilet and hide, and then we'd come back out again, and if they'd gone, we'd start shouting it again. Silly. I condone it, but as kids, what do you do? But it was just a source of amazement when we were bored and we got nothing else to do. But I mean, we used to go around and we'd play with them. They'd come in our garden. You know, sometimes we'd all play together. I remember one time though, we'll come back in and some of his toys had gone missing, and we did. I think it was a birthday party I had or something, and some of the toys had gone missing. So at the end, when everybody gone, my mum was like, "Where's the toys gone?" I was, or something. It was like, we don't know. So she frog marched us around to their house to find out, and knocked on the door. And my mum was saying, you know, some toys have gone missing. Your lads have been around our house and all this lot. And they would deny. They would say, no, you know, we've not got your toys or whatnot. And I could see him. I could see him in the toy box under the bed in the living room. They had a bed in the living room. There was some toys in the box, and I could see him in there. And I was trying to point out to my mum, but I don't think we got them back. I think we just ended up coming back, you know, without them. But it's just a funny story. It's just one of them things that I remember. Right, where we got. Anyway, going back to the picture above the wall where the graffiti is, there was another firm which was demolished, and also it's kind of, if you look just where the wall is, above the wall there was a firm, and then there was the railway, obviously where the railway bridge starts. If you look just under that, there's a little island. I don't know whether it was man-made because they'd put it there. Or whether it was just all the scrap metal. I think it was all the scrap metal and everything that got dumped in there, and I think gradually it grassed over and you know, made into an island. I mean, you can just see a couple of trees and a bit of bushes on it, but it actually used to be a lot bigger than that. Like it was like a big circle, because the kids used to go on the just under the bridge, stand on the on the path going round, and jump in and swim over to the other side. You know, and then jump off the island. It was a regular source. I mean, I never did it. I never did like water, for that matter. But I think my brother did. But we used to watch him, and I think they built a swing as well under the railway bridge itself. There was like a rope swing that they used to swing on, and then jump off and go in. Anyway, there was the remains of an island. This was a favourite place for the kids to swim and then dive into the water. I remember one time a little boy drowned. He must have only been about 4 years old. They used to live opposite to us. There was Francis Street just opposite, and then before, I think it was either Bodmin or Titterton Street started, there was some houses going down, and they were in there, and I think the name was Butlers, I'm not quite sure, but they're a little boy, I think he was only about 3 years old. It was in the papers and everything, and they got him over to the island somehow, and he just slid in. He must have just been sat on the edge, bless him, and slid in, and anyway he drowned. And I remember there'd been a big commotion, and I remember going to the end of the wall looking and seeing all the frogmen diving in the water, and it was in the papers then, you know, that had happened. It was really, really sad. I remember asking my dad, and you know, my dad telling me exactly what happened, and I remember the police coming around as well and asking if anybody'd seen it, and I think my dad gave various information, but I think it was a case of nobody saw it, they just heard all the commotion afterwards. Now, the family across, I mean, my brother used to play with him as well. He used to knock around with one of the big lads who was their age as well, until one day, their Alsatian dog bit him around the belly button. It was a nasty big dog as well. It was always tied up with a length of rope, and whenever you went near it, went near the door, it used to go absolutely crackers. It was really scary. And I think after that, I think my mum and dad said to him, you know, you're not playing with him no more, because he did. He made a really nasty bite around his belly button. It just went for him, and he was only going round to see if they were playing. And I remember as well, there was another family that tried to drown a load of kittens, apparently as well. They had a bag of kittens in the canal, and they were trying to drown them. And I remember my dad going round and scaring them off and rescuing them. And they were I think they were in like a sack bag. I think he got in the paper for it. It was in the paper. Man rescues kittens from drowning. You know, we've been down there since trying to find it, but we've never been able to find the clip. More than a thing in the paper. Anyway, I put him. My dad rescued him. I got his picture in the local paper. Lots of people saying thank you and how proud he was. And more cats for our Moggy hospital. Anyway, that was picture 6. And I'll load up picture 7.